All right, so I'm going to begin recording. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Rewilding Wellness Wednesdays. I'm Dr. Christy. I know some of you are going to be here with us live. Most of you are going to be watching this on recording. So either way, welcome. So happy to have you join us. I'm going to briefly introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. I'm going to introduce tonight's topic, introduce my special guest who I'm so excited to be with tonight, and then we're going to dive right in. So I'm Dr. Christy. I'm a holistic psychologist, doctor of multidimensional wellness, bio-quantum integration, all of these fancy words. All it means is that my work is an integration of body, mind, and spirit, really grounded in the understanding that the way in which we heal is through frequency, embodiment, cellular recalibration. And this idea of this bio-quantum wellness is all about the truth that fundamentally we are vibrational beings, and that health and wellness happens at the intersection of science and soul. So as a medicine woman, I am here to help you remember who you are behind all the domestication, behind all of the conditioning and programming, to reclaim your truth, rewild your life, and thrive. So that's basically who I am. My goal is always to reconnect people with the essential brilliance of their bodies and to help them realign with our natural rhythms, because that's the root cause of all illness, when we are moving out of alignment with our divine blueprint. We're going to talk more about that tonight. So I created Rewilding Wellness Wednesdays as an opportunity to really share a lot of this information and make it as accessible as possible for all people, no matter where you're located, no matter what your financial situation is, no matter where you are on your health and wellness journey. Hopefully this will be accessible to you. I also really wanted to create a safe space for us to have conversations, sometimes conversations that are difficult, that are challenging, to really be in a community of like-minded, like-hearted beings where we can talk all things health and wellness. So that's why I created this. Tonight's topic is detoxification, and this is a huge topic, one of my favorite topics. And we could do, and I have done, like full weekend retreats on this topic. It's that big. And so tonight I really want to focus on some of the myths around detoxification and some of the lesser known aspects of this topic, because these are the most important ones. Of course, the ones that are overlooked are the most important ones. So when most people hear about detox, they think juice cleanses and, taking a bunch of like laxatives and like pooping your brains out for weeks and weeks. That's not what it's all about. So we're going to talk what it is all about tonight. Before I dive in, I am so excited to introduce all of you to my soul sister, colleague, brilliant health guru, Jill Rosenkrantz of the Detox Girls. So Jill, can you introduce yourself and say a few words about who you are?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, first of all, for having me. And I'm so happy to be here. And this is a topic that fills my heart. Although every time we talk, I say that, that topic fills my heart and that topic fills my heart. So everything we do aligns so well. So my name is Jill Rosenkrantz. I am a holistic health educator, a naturopathic provider. I'm the co-founder of the Detox Girls, which is why I'm probably here tonight. But I also empower women to reclaim their health, their confidence, their purpose, by giving them the tools and the education for support of their body's natural ability to heal. Because your body is not broken. You are made to heal, and we make sure that you know that. So through regenerative detox strategies and then wellness mentorship, I've helped thousands of people take control of their health, create lasting change. And at my core, I'm truly a connector of resources. I meet people where they are. I help them to get to where they need to heal, to thrive, and rise into the life that they were made for, just because I believe so much in people and our design, and that we were just made to be a perfect being.
Beautiful. Yes, we are. We are made in the divine blueprint, right? We are in perfection. We have everything that we need to heal ourselves. So, by the way, somebody's coming in. I'm just putting everything in private mode. There is a group chat and there's also a private chat. So I know some people prefer, even though I want this to be a community and I want us to be open discussion, I understand that some people are really cautious. So I put everyone sort of in private mode, but please use the group chat. And also feel free to, I can see everyone raise your hand and talk at any time. We will do kind of a Q&A at the end for anyone who's still on live. And you can use either the public group chat or the private group chat if you have a question that maybe you want to keep anonymous. So just putting that out there. So yeah, Jill, that is amazing. All of the things. And yes, every time you and I talk, we have all these incredible conversations. So
we're going to change the world, and we're going to
We-
help everybody be their best selves. And I love that about
Yes.
our relationship. And every single time we talk, it is so fulfilling. So I hope that everybody feels that way this evening as well, as they get to come in and take a peek at how you and I talk back and forth, but then also participate. I really hope people will participate, because that is, I thrive on the Q&A.
Me too. Me
Yeah.
too. I know. I don't want to say anything. Like, let's just talk.
Yeah.
I know. I know. It's awesome. It's so good. So, all right, let's dive in a little bit to detox. And again, this is a huge topic, and I wish we had all night to dive in. And I'm really going to just try to keep it. And those of you who know me, you know, I'm a talker. So I sometimes have trouble like reining it in. So I'm really going to try to keep myself focused. Okay. So I'm going to talk about these 4 often overlooked aspects of detoxification, okay? And what my goal is to tell you a little bit about it and then share a practice that you can begin like right now, immediately. And the practices that I'm choosing to share, again, if you're out there and you work with me privately, you know there's so many practices around detoxification that we do, because the truth of the matter is that when we're working to be healthy and well, and we're working to thrive and soar, we are multidimensional beings. So we're dealing with multiple dimensions, right? Energetic, physical, psychological, spiritual, emotional, relational, all of these levels. So we are detoxing constantly on all of those levels. So there are many practices in many ways, but my goal for tonight is to give you guys very simple yet powerfully effective practices that you can start implementing now. And of course, I'll repeat this at the end, you know, if you guys have questions after tonight, because it is a lot of information. It really is. And even if you're joining live, if you want the replay, reach out to me, email me, call me, text me. I will send you the replay, because it is a lot of info. I want you guys to have time to digest it and take it all in. Really see how it lands for you, see what resonates and comes up for you. And then do the practices and see what lands, see what fits, see where you want more, see what isn't working, and then reach out to me. I'm happy to help. I'm here for you. So the place I want to start is with what I call the emotional detoxing of your cellular memory. Okay. Now, let me back up a second and start with this. And again, some of you out there, you know me, and you know I say this ad nauseum, but I'm going to say it again anyway, because it's important. When we experience symptoms of any kind, okay, in our bodies, whatever those symptoms are, you know, brain fog. Last week, if you joined me last week, we spoke so much about brain fog and chronic fatigue and exhaustion. Brain fog, exhaustion, overweight, underweight, anxiety, you know, autoimmune issues, whatever the case may be, any of these symptoms, okay? Symptoms are a signpost, all right? Symptoms are an invitation to look within, to say, where am I living out of alignment? And this is true about any symptom. You tell me any symptom and I will tell you that same answer. Every symptom is a signpost. It's an alert, okay? It's a little red flag that tells us something is amiss in the way that we are living our lives. Now, in this very Western allopathic medicine world that we're living in, that I call a sick care society, okay? This medical model is invested in shutting down symptoms. Okay, which if you think about it, based on what I just said, symptoms are the alert, right? Symptoms are the red alert. Well, if we shut down the red alert, we never get to, well, what caused the alert in the first place, right? So we need to understand that when we're talking about even a process like detoxification and you're beginning to look at your life and say, okay, wait a minute, the sluggishness I feel, the heaviness I feel, sometimes we intuitively know like, gosh, I got to clean myself out. If we're dealing with constipation issues, gut issues, irritable bowel disease, I mean, I can go on and on with the list of symptoms and diagnoses. The goal should never be just to shut down symptoms. We've got to instead listen to those symptoms, follow where they lead so that we can get to the root cause. Okay, so I just wanted to start there. So emotional detox of cellular memory. Okay, here's the thing. Our tissues, our fascia, the connective tissue that's in our bodies, our organs, our muscles, our joints, okay? These hold all of the unprocessed frequencies of everything from trauma, grief, shame, guilt, okay? All of the suppressed emotions. And I don't care who you are, and I don't care what your childhood was like, and I don't care what your story is. At some point in your life, you pushed something down that you either did not want to feel, or that you were told or taught or conditioned, or my word is domesticated, to believe that it wasn't safe to feel. Okay. And you pushed it down. It's a defense mechanism, and you had to do it. Okay. We have to have those defense mechanisms. But the problem is, those emotions don't go away. We don't push them inside a box and the lid stays on forever, if only, right? What happens is this is all happening on an energetic level. So these experiences create what I call this emotional residue that builds up in our system at the very cellular level, and it disrupts everything from inter and intracellular communication. It disrupts our nervous system's capacity to regulate itself. It interrupts our mitochondrial functioning. Mitochondria, if you joined me last week, you heard me talk a lot about mitochondria. Ninth grade science, like 101, right? Mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell, except it's so much more. In my new book, I talk a lot about this. It excites me. I'm a science nerd. The mitochondria, yeah, it's the powerhouse of the cell, but it's also the main antennae that connect us to the greater consciousness, that creates us to all that is in the universe. It's the major energetic channel between us and the outside world. So when that mitochondria is depleted and not functioning well, we suffer. We suffer on every level. So what true detoxification has to include, okay, again, you could do the juice cleanses, you could take all the things, right? You can do all the things. But if you are not detoxifying at this emotional level of cellular memory, you're missing out on a whole layer because that residue is building up. So we've got to feel. We've got to feel. I always say we have to feel to heal. We have to feel these emotions and we have to release them. And there are a number of ways to do that. So if you're out there and you work with me, you know that together, this is a big part of what we work on. We do everything from, somatic work, which is working through the body to actually get into the cells, muscles, joints, tissues, get into that fascia to begin to release those stored and sequestered emotions. So we do that with somatic body work, breath work, sound. Sound is a huge one that you guys know I love to use because everything is sound. So we use a lot of sound medicine and vibrational healing as well as expressive movement, okay? So the idea here is that you can't actually detox your body if you're not clearing the energy that it carries. Okay, that's the main thing that we've got to remember. Again, you could do all the physical things, but unless you're detoxing the energy that the body is holding and carrying, you're not actually detoxifying the body. So I want to share with you on this note of emotional detox of this cellular memory, one practice that you can integrate now. And again, it's simple yet really powerfully effective. Oh, hang on. Just letting people in here and there. Okay. Oh, some of you are coming in public. I'm sorry. I can't mess with the settings now. Okay. So again, I just will repeat quickly for the couple of you who just came on. So you cannot detox the physical body without clearing the energy that it carries. Okay. So releasing stored and sequestered emotions has to happen. Oh, before I jump into the practice, I want to say this quickly. Many people will say, oh, I experienced a traumatic whatever situation or experience when I was, 10 years old, but I'm over it now. I don't think about it anymore. I'm over it. It's done. I'm beyond that. Okay. So here's the thing about trauma. And again, I could do a whole thing on this. Trauma is not the event that happens to us. It's what happens inside of us as a result of the thing that happens to us. Okay. Now, you may not be consciously aware that there are emotions or trauma stuck in your body. Okay. But I bet if I were to ask that same person, and I do ask these people all the time, do you ever get pain in your body? Do you ever get back pain, shoulder pain, neck pain, right? You ever get belly issues? You ever get chest pain? You ever have issues in your knees? You ever have trouble walking? You ever wake up in the morning and feel really, really stiff? You ever have a moment where you feel like you just worked out for 10 hours, but you actually didn't? Or maybe you did work out and it's taking you a really long time for your muscles to recover. Yeah, all of those things. And I've never met a person who says no to any of that, right? We've all experienced it. And no, by the way, that's not just a sign of getting old. It's not. Anytime you have pain in your physical body of any kind, that is letting you know that that is where emotion and energy is stored and sequestered. So again, and you might say, but I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. You don't even have to know what it is. And this is where my approach is different than, psychoanalysis, talk therapy. Let's talk about your mom when you were 5 years old. No. We don't have to do that. That just re-traumatizes us anyway. All we have to know is, okay, I've got this residue, this emotional residue. And that word emotion means energy and motion. That residue is built up in my system. And I know that because my body is communicating it with me through pain. Pain is a portal. So again, we're really quick to pop the Advil. We're really quick to go take the shot, right? To help make the pain go away. And I get it. I get the discomfort. But if we can pause for a moment and say, wait a minute, this pain is letting me know that there's something deeper happening in this vessel, right? That we've got to explore. There's the game changer, right? Because the Advil and the cortisone shots and all these things, yeah, you're going to feel better. I get it. You're going to feel better. But all of those sequestered emotions, they're staying in there. And I think about it, I talk about it, and I write a lot about it like a volcano. It's like this molten magma under the surface. Guess what? One little crack in the vent in the Earth's crust, there's your volcano. And there's eruption. And what does that eruption look like? Disease. Mental, physical, emotional, spiritual disease, right? So let pain be the portal. Let pain be your invitation in to know, oh, okay, there's stuff going on in me. I've got this emotional residue. Okay, so here is a practice. I'm gonna teach you guys a sound practice. I call this a somatic sound release practice that you can integrate in your lives starting right now. Okay, and I'm gonna sort of model it for us, and I'm gonna invite you, if you're joining me live, to do this with me. If you're watching on the replay, doing along. So you're gonna kind of find a quiet place to be for a moment. And you're gonna place one hand on your heart. Make sure both feet are on the earth. Tune in and feel your crown rising towards the sky. And bring all of your awareness into your physical body. Just tune in. And again, sometimes the mind is really loud. It's okay. Let the mind be loud. Just bring your attention to the body. And notice any area in your body where you feel physical tightness or tension, or where you feel emotion. And bring all of your awareness to that place. And when you have that place in your awareness, still feeling your feet rooted in the earth, still feeling your crown rising to sky, there are your anchors. Tuning in now to that area of the body where you feel tightness or tension or emotion or all of the above. We're going to take a breath deeply. We're going to breathe deeply in through the nose. And then on the exhale, we're going to hum. Hum. So you can hum or you can make any sound. Ha. Whatever sound naturally comes out, let it. Okay? And you're going to do this 3 times. So breathe in again. You're going to let all the sound come out naturally. And you're going to let the sound move with your breath. Inhale, exhale the sound. And as you're exhaling the sound, imagine that the vibration of the sound is wrapping around that area, that place of tension and tightness and emotion in the body. So it's almost like you're massaging the tissues from the inside out. So I'm going to do it a couple more times. And I'm just letting whatever sound comes out of my mouth, I'm letting it. You're all muted, so let whatever sound comes out, that comes out. Ooh. So you're basically allowing the energy, the vibration of the sound to tone and tonify that part of the body. Now, for most of you, a couple of you have done this with me. For many of you, if you're new to me, especially you've never done this with me before. So right now you might be like, well, I just did that and I don't feel any change. Well, it's not a one and done thing, right? You have to practice this a few times and also get used to letting your system trust that your voice, which this is proven scientifically, the voice is the most powerful instrument there is in existence. And there is an abundance of data in all of the mainstream medical journals, believe it or not. Your doctor won't tell you this, but I will. In JAMA and in PubMed and all of these really, well-known mainstream medical journals, that the voice, using the voice at different tones and pitches, can actually eradicate cancer cells. Okay, so your voice is powerful. But for many of us, and again, I can do a whole thing on this. I'm actually going to be doing a whole retreat on this, the voice. And many of you know, if you follow me, I've been really, really embodying my voice more so than ever in my life. It's changed my life. But when we've gotten used to quieting our voice or silencing our voice, our body doesn't recognize it as a healing tool, right? So you've got to get into practice. So do that. Look how simple it was. Hand on the heart, feet on the earth, crown rising to sky. That invites you to rise tall. Straight spine is the gateway to spirit, right? Tune into the body. Find any place of tension, tightness, emotion. Inhale through the nose, filling the body with air. Exhale the sound and let the vibration of that sound reverberate through that area. It is incredible what that will do. So the vibrational releasing, right? It bypasses the mind, and it lets the body not only speak, but soften. Okay. By the way, humming, some of you know this from me, humming, if you put your finger here, you can feel the vibration. Humming is actually one of the most profound ways to open and release the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is the longest cranial nerve in the body. It is the, we all hear about the gut-brain connection, right? Well, what exactly connects the gut and the brain? The vagus nerve. That's the information superhighway that runs through the body. When we are anxious, when we are stressed, when we are in constant flight or fight, which, let's be honest, is most of us, okay? It's just the world we're living in. I call it functional freeze in my book. When we are functionally frozen, our vagus nerve that operates, so our nerves should be these like long tubes that allow energy and oxygen to flow freely. When we are living in that contracted state, the vagus nerve twists and tightens and gets contracted and gets stuck. That's what makes us stay in flight or fight. That's what signals danger to the brain and to the body. Okay? When we hum, repeatedly a few times, that stimulates the vagus nerve. It sends a signal of safety. And little by little, the vagus nerve unwinds and releases. Really powerful. So that's something I even teach little kids. Many of you know I work with little kids as well. I work with kids, teens, adults. I teach my little kids, if you're starting to worry about something, stop, close your eyes and just hum really loud, hum really loud, hum really loud. Takes you right out of that panic state. It's really powerful. So that's emotional detox of cellular memory. And again, that is something that your trendy detox people out in the wellness world will not talk to you about. Again, it's the juice fasts, right? Well, a juice fast is not going to touch this emotional residue that is stuck in your body, that is blocking your body from being the brilliant, magnificent being that it is meant to be. All right. Jill, anything that you want to say about that one before I move on to the energetic fields?
Well, first of all, I love you so much because as the detox girls, there's nothing that bothers my business partner and I than you just need this juice fast. You just need this parasite cleanse. You just need this liver flush. You just need this magic, this magic spray. There is nothing that bothers us more. So I'm glad that you brought all of that in because we teach 4 pillars of health and pillar 3 is emotional and spiritual health. So we teach them in this order, but then the importance is in this order. So I'm in agreement with that, with all of that. I also have, I have 2 kids, but I have a granddaughter. And I would encourage everyone to get back to your inner child because what I love about her is I see her, she'll be singing, she'll just be sitting there playing and she'll start singing, or she will start blowing raspberries out of the clear blue sky. Or she has that big belly, like the big belly breath, right? So diaphragmatic breathing, she's breathing the right way. And I bring those things to my daughter's attention because I'm like, don't ever push that down. Because socially, maybe that it feels like, be quiet. You're in a busy place, be quiet. No, if she's humming, if she's making noise, and then she's regulating her nervous system. There's, multiple different ways you can regulate your nervous system. So don't push that down. Kind of lean into it. And if you practice these things, they will come naturally to you in a time of stress and anxiety. So box breathing, humming, gargling, whistling, singing. There are things you can do that have a little bit of noise. There are some box breathing makes no noise if you're, in church and for some reason, and it's quiet and you can't do box breathing or learn diaphragmatic breathing, and it changes everything. There's so many things that you can lean into to support your body in those moments. And what I love is that you teach the free things first, but they are the most important things first. The foundations
Totally.
are most important. I love that.
Absolutely. Oh my God. And I love the image of the kid, right? Because little kids get it. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like big in their belly and they're singing at the top of their lungs, right? Without a care in the world
And
before domestication gets them.
adults are telling them to suppress it. Stop, stop. It's the last thing we
My
should be doing.
life.
Although I believe that this generation of young parents, with the benefit of social media and TikTok and how they're all coming together, they are learning a lot more than we did when
Yeah.
we were raising kids pre social media in that way. There are benefits to social media.
There are. We'll have to do a live on that soon. Yeah. My love-hate relationship with social.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. All right. So that's emotional detox. Okay. Let's move on to what I call energetic field clearing. Okay. So we are all energy beings, right? We are vibrational beings. That is fundamentally who we are. Our human bodies, we were conditioned to believe, again, starting back in grade school, that everything is a chemical reaction and that illness is, a chemical imbalance. And that could not be further from the truth. We are electromagnetic beings, first and foremost. So any issues that we encounter at their root cause are problems in the electrical system. They're electrical issues, right? So around our bodies, we have this physical body. And again, this could be a topic in and of itself. I'm going to try to be really succinct here. So, and some of you took my energy medicine class, so you heard me teach about this a lot. So we've got our physical body. Around our physical body, we have something called an auric field. Fancy word for just these layers of energy that extend out from us, that connect us with the larger world. And we all have these. We all have these layers of energy around us, okay? So some people call this the subtle body. Some people call this our antennae. Some people auric field, right? Whatever words you use, doesn't matter. Just know that you've got these sort of orbs around you that are these energy fields. And the same way that I talked about how emotional debris gets stuck in us from our own life experiences, our auric fields collect debris from the outside world. Okay. So as humans, we are three main things. All humanists can be boiled down to three things. We are receptors, transmitters, and transmutators. That's what we are as energy beings, okay? Through these auric fields around us, we are taking in energy as receptors, and we are transmitting energy out as transmitters, okay? So we have to understand that these energy fields around us, hang on, let somebody in. As these energy fields around us are taking and, it's giving and receiving. There are these open portals. We have to understand that any debris from the environment, from people, from relationships, from technology, okay, EMFs, right? From ancestral entanglements, okay, any energetic tethers that our ancestors carried that are coming through, through the generations that we inherit. All of that is living in those energy fields. Okay. And what happens is they cause residue, they cause a buildup. And the buildups in those energy fields end up blocking the flow of life force energy. They block the flow of energy. So health is a state of ease. Said differently, it's a state of flow. It's energy free flowing from out to in, through us, and back out again, right? It's like this recycle system. So when we are healthy, we are in a state of ease, energy free flowing, and then within the body, oxygen free flowing, blood free flowing, right? Everything is in flow. What is the opposite of that? Dis-ease, okay? A lack of ease, blockages, stagnancy, right? Interruption in that flow, Okay, so when we've got this accumulation of all of this environmental residue, this buildup blocks our life force energy, and it creates, again, everything's electric. So in electric terms, everything is either dissonance, right? It's either dissonant, meaning it's at odds, right? Or it's the synergistic. There's a consonant connection there. So what happens when we have all this residue in the auric fields is that the body creates, there's dissonance, there's imbalances, there's hiccups in the electrical system. How does that manifest? Everything from fatigue, brain fog, confusion, trouble focusing, trouble concentrating, trouble with organization and time management, difficulty with planning, anxiety, depression, chronic illness. Okay, and if you're hearing me say these lists of symptoms, I'm sure they sound familiar because many of these symptoms are clustered together to form a lot of the common diagnoses that we see out there. Your ADHDs, your anxiety disorder, okay, which all of those things only just let you know that there is dysregulation in the energetic and physical symptom. That's all those things are. Okay, so when there is this dissonance in all of these auric fields, these are the things that we see. Okay, so the same way that I mentioned with the emotional detox, that we need to tune into the body, right? Look for the signs of pain and say, okay, I've got to release this stored emotion, right? And we did our practice of using the vibration to go there. Now with the energetic fields, we're going to do something similar. You're going to recognize that any one of your symptoms is letting you know that there is some disruption in that energetic field, okay? And we're going to do something, we're going to do some practice that is going to kind of help clear the static, right? So think about a radio station with static, right? I know the young people don't know what that is. But I know where a lot of you are at in age. You know what I'm talking about, the radio stations. So think about static on a radio station, or maybe static in your cell phone line when you're trying to communicate with somebody. That is what happens in the body when we've got all of this energy field disruption. We've got to clear the static to bring the system back to coherence as opposed to dissonance, okay? And this is where I make the point to say that detoxification, okay, so we're going to bust another myth right now, that detoxing isn't just about what leaves your body. It's about tending to what no longer belongs in your energetic field. Okay, so busting another myth. Oh, detox, it's the juice cleanse and we're going to poop our brains out for 2 weeks and let everything go. It's more than just what leaves your body. It's tuning in to the energies that no longer belong in your field. I'll say quickly something about this, and then I'll teach you a practice. When we think about what no longer belongs in our field and what clogs our field, right? I said before that it's sort of everything out here, environment, relationships. I give my 3 Ps. It's people, places, plans. So this can be people in our lives that are no longer vibrating at maybe the same frequency that we are, right? It is places, maybe it's a job that we're at. Maybe it's a place that we're living in, whether it be a physical home structure, or maybe a city that we're living in, or a place that we're living in that is no longer in resonance. So it's creating dissonance in the system. And what I mean by plans are all of the expectations that we carry, all of the stories and the narratives that we carry about who we are in relationship to the world. All of those things clog our energetic pores. Okay, so again, detoxing isn't just about what needs to go. It's the awareness of what is here that is no longer serving me, right? What no longer belongs in the field, and really tending to that. So let me teach you a practice about that. Oh, someone's trying to log on. So it's funny, the Zoom link worked for everyone, but now somebody's saying the link doesn't work. I'm just going to see if I can help quickly. And if not, okay. No, I tried to send. Let's see. I sent the link. Okay. I hope you get on. Okay. So, okay, here's a practice. And again, these are there's so many practices we can do. These are just really meant to be simple, basic, yet really powerful that you can implement in your life now. So to clear the biofields, okay, you're going to hear me talk about dry brushing. Jill and I, I'm sure, are going to talk about dry brushing later for the physical body. But a fun fact is that we can dry brush our energy body as well. So here's a practice that I love. I do this every single day, sometimes multiple times a day, and I teach this to everyone. So you're going to stand up barefoot if possible. And if you want to try this now, you absolutely can. And you can do this sitting down as well. There's no right or wrong way to do this, okay? And what you're going to do is with arms open wide, okay, and open palms, you're going to begin to sweep the air that's around you, okay? And the main thing is here, we're not just like, la, 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 what am I going to eat for lunch today? What's going on in the world today? No, the main thing that we're going to use is our intention, okay? Something that I was taught, feels like a million years now in Energy Medicine 101, is that intention plus frequency equals healing, okay? Everything is driven. The way that we become masters of our energy, you guys, we're all Reiki masters. Sorry, I'm a certified Reiki master, whatever, I could throw it out. We're all Reiki masters, okay? You direct your own energy with your intention, all right? So with your intention, the intention of, I am clearing my biofields of any energy that no longer belongs here. Any energy that no longer serves me is no longer welcome here. Okay, notice what I'm doing. I'm going through the front of my body, the sides of my body, under my arms. I know it's hard to fully see me. And I'm doing this down my legs. I'm sweeping all the parts of my body. And I'm repeating the intention. I am cleaning my biofields of anything that no longer serves me, any energy. And I am visualizing. You can do this with eyes open. I like to close my eyes when I'm visualizing. It keeps me really focused. And I am visualizing literally that I'm sweeping away and I'm sending the energy back, okay? Some of you who worked with me in my energy medicine class, I taught you something for how to send energy back to its owner. So you can do that here, okay? You can sweep the biofield and then send the energy back. Those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, but if it sounds interesting, let me know and I will send you the audio. I have a beautiful audio recording of that, of how to send energy back to its rightful owner, okay? So this is a really beautiful practice. You can also here, as you're sweeping away, you can name what you're sweeping away if you wanted to. You know, I'm sweeping away resentment that my family members have had for me. I'm sweeping away the ancestral wounding around insecurity that is filtering in. You know, I'm sweeping away all of the fear mongering that's around me. I'm sweeping away, right? So you can name it as you do it, okay? Again, seems like a really simple practice, but really, really powerful. And it's driven by intention. And the way that I end the practice, so there's no rule for how long to do it. I do it until I feel clear. And with practice, you will feel different. You will feel lighter. You will feel energy moving, okay? The way that I finish the practice is I bring one hand to my heart and one hand to my belly. And I say the words, I now call my own energy home. I now call my own energy home. Okay, so that is what I say in order to sort of close the practice, right? So I've sent away all the energy that no longer belongs in my field, and then I'm calling my energy home. Okay, there we go. All right, so what this practice is doing, this is awakening the auric field, and it's reinforcing your energetic sovereignty. It's putting you in control of your energy. And that is a major factor in detoxification, right? So it's what's not only leaving the body, but it's tending to your energy fields, releasing what no longer serves, but calling back what is yours in order to fortify yourself. Okay, so that is the energetic field cleansing. I'm going to dive quickly into this next one, because then I know we're going to have a lot to talk about with the last one, and I'm aware of the time. So the next one I want to talk about is what I call, it's chronobiological rhythm reset. These are fancy names. You don't have to remember the names, just hear what they are. Your detox pathways, okay, and let me just say this, that most people associate detoxification with the liver. Now, your liver is a large detox organ. However, it's only one of many detox organs, okay? Your lungs are a major organ of detoxification, which is why big diaphragmatic breathing and different pranayama practices are so powerful for detoxification, because it gets your lungs opening and expanding. Your spleen, your lymphatic system, we have many, many detox pathways in the body, okay? All of these detox pathways, your liver, your lymph, your hormones, all of these things are governed by circadian patterns and rhythms, okay? The reality is that the whole of our system is governed by circadian rhythm and patterns, okay? Sadly, the overwhelming majority of us are living at odds with the natural rhythms. Okay, what scientists have called this evolutionary mismatch. We are living at odds with the way that we were built to live. Okay, so for example, you know, we're not rising with the sun. We're not setting with the sun. I mean, we're all breaking that rule now. Well, if you're here in the Northeast anyway, right? So we are supposed to rise with the sun. We're supposed to set with the sun. We are supposed to eat only during daylight hours. So our last meal should be several hours before sunset for proper digestion and absorption, for instance, okay? We are supposed to honor the rhythms of the season. So for instance, when it's fall and winter, we're supposed to be slowing down, okay? I don't know about you, my kids play hockey. We ramp up in the winter. It's freaking backwards. Okay, we're supposed to be honoring the natural rhythms of the seasons, and we are no longer living that way. What that has done is that has totally disrupted our basic foundational systems in our body. Okay, it just has. Living seasonally and resyncing with the cycles through such things as rising with the sun, setting with the sun, or at least wearing blue blocking glasses at night. I should have mine on now, even for this event here that we're doing. But they're inside and I don't want to go get them. So, and honoring the seasonal slowness, okay? Even honoring for women, okay? Many of us on this call were women. Our menstrual cycles, when I teach this to my women clients, they are blown away. Grown-ass women with children who have no idea that there are 4 seasons of a menstrual cycle. They have no clue. They're like, I bleed and I'm miserable and that's it. No, there are 4 seasons of a menstrual cycle that coordinate with the 4 seasons of the year. Okay, every week of the month, we are supposed to be moving differently, eating differently, exercising differently, thinking differently, working differently. We don't do that. Okay, so when we are out of sync with our divine blueprint, we're going to have issues. Okay, so part of the detoxification process is that we've got to start resetting ourselves, because this isn't just about what you eliminate. It's about how your body is supported during that elimination process. We're eliminating and releasing all the time. When we pee, when we poop, when we sweat, right? We're eliminating all the time. So how are we supporting our body through all of those natural functional elimination processes? We've got to do so by resyncing ourselves to bring in really strong circadian health. It is essential. Again, you can do all the practices, but if you're living out of sync with the natural rhythms, they're not going to be as effective or effective at all. Okay, so one practice that you can do, I will tell you really quickly, is, and some of you experience this with me on retreats, who are on this event tonight and who will watch the replay. So sunrise ritual. And I know some of you are going to be like, oh my God, that's too early. I can't wake up that early. I go to bed too late. Well, we're supposed to go to bed earlier at night so we can wake up in the morning. Every morning, step outside within 30 minutes of sunrise. Very simple to find out when sunrise is. Use this thing, use your phone, go onto your weather app or the D-Minder app. If you don't know about D-Minder, if you have an Apple iPhone, go and get the D-Minder app. Oh, my screen thing is blocking it. Get the D-Minder app. That will also tell you when it's the optimal time to get vitamin D from sunlight during the day. It's a fantastic app. Actually, I love it. But get outside in the morning within 30 minutes of sunrise, even if it's for 5 minutes. Naked eyes, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, ditch sunglasses. Even in the middle of the day, everyone's putting their fancy shades on, ditch them. Your cells' mitochondria need the coating from the sun. If you're blocking it with sunglasses, you're starving your cells' mitochondria. Ditch the glasses. Let the natural light come into your eye. It turns on your natural circadian clock. Okay? Try to get your bare feet in the ground if possible. Many of you have heard me teach about this. Okay, the ground, Mother Earth has electrons for us to absorb that our cells need. Okay, get your feet in the dirt, get your eyes on the sun, take some deep breaths, set an intention for your day. Okay, if you would like to say a mantra, sometimes I put my hands on my solar plexus, which is your belly, and I say things like, you know, I rest in the rhythm of life, or I'm empowered by the sun, just to really set that intention and to remind myself of what I'm doing, right? And why it's so important. This really simple ritual is a complete recalibration. Really, it sounds so simple. Excuse me. It is a complete recalibration of everything from the flow of your hormones to the timing of your cells' mitochondrial release of energy, cellular clarity, transmission of information. What will that look like? You'll feel clearer mentally. You'll feel more alert, more awake, more with it, less tired, less hormonal. Okay, and the list goes on. And you're priming your body. You're setting it up for really healthy processes, including detoxification. Okay, so that's that one. Last one, regenerative detoxification. I'm going to say it quickly and then I'm turning it over to Jill. This is like her baby, okay? All of this, the reality is everything we're talking about is regenerative detoxification. But I want to really define what this word regeneration is all about. So regenerative detoxification, this is really the process of not only removing toxins from the body, okay? That's only one piece of it. So we're removing toxins from the body, from the energy field, right? From the mind, okay? All of the dimensions of our being, we're removing toxins. But we also need to rebuild and restore and revitalize the body at the cellular and energetic levels. Okay. And again, this is something that your juice cleanse people are not going to talk to you about. They're just wanting to get you to poop. Okay. Which is important. All right. But it's not just about what's eliminating from the body. It's about rebuilding, restoring, and revitalizing the body. So conventional detoxes, again, it's just about elimination, getting you to poop, cleaning the liver, colon cleanses. Everybody and their mother is running to do a coffee enema cleanse now. Like that's like a trendy thing in this area now, right? But they're not looking at this idea of regeneration, right? The body as a self-healing ecosystem. Okay, that needs to be endlessly nourished, endlessly repaired, endlessly rebalanced, not just cleansed. Okay. So at its core, the way I think about this idea of regenerative detox, it's about cleansing waste, right? From all of those dimensions we talked about, but it's replenishing minerals. It's adding in structured water, which I'll talk in another episode about. Easy water, structured water. Some of you, if you work with me, you know I recommend that, and how to amplify the production of easy water in the body. It's about making the body, enhancing the body's ability to use bioavailable nutrients. Okay, these are all these aspects. Restoring coherence in the biofield, which I mentioned before, right? It's rebuilding the integrity of the tissues in your body. When we release the fascia, we want to rebuild that natural elasticity in the fascia. That's part of regenerative detox. We want to revive your life force. And we do that again through things like the natural rhythms, the season, the light hygiene. Okay. So true healing isn't just about removing what's toxic. It's reawakening all of your body's natural life-giving capacities. Really important to know that. Jill, jump in, please, now, because I could go on and on and on, but I want to hear your brilliance. Please share.
Yeah, no, I'm fascinated by everything you're saying. I live this life. I love quantum energy. I love quantum entanglement. I was thinking about, when you walk into the room and you can cut the tension with a knife, we
Yeah.
all know quantum, but we don't know that we know quantum. And then when you were doing this, I was laughing because I had said about teaching your body to what to do so that when you get into a crisis, it goes into it. But I envision everybody sitting at a family dinner that gets a little bit out of control, and all of a sudden you're doing
Yeah.
this and your family thinks you're just crazy. You're like, this is not mine.
This
So
is all not mine. Yeah.
yeah. So I love all of the practices that you're doing, and I'm going to try to keep it short. I could talk for 3 days and still not be done, but I think where I want to start that really launches off from what you were talking about is knowing that the body is a symphony. And it just takes one thing to be out of kilter for that symphony to not sound right. So it can
Yes.
be any of these things. I always start with the foundations, and you covered many of them. So I'm just going to cover a couple more in addition to what you did, which is simply clean water and minerals. If you can do one thing today, is to take a glass of water to bed with you, not to bed with you, next to your bed,
Next.
and some gray salt or some minerals, so that when you wake up in the morning, before you do anything else, and I'm not saying don't drink your coffee, I'm saying when you wake up, drink that water, some minerals. That's your spark plug of your day.
Yes.
Okay, so you can do that, then you can go to the bathroom, then you can go outside. This will take you 10 seconds, that will take you 10 seconds, and you can be outside within a minute. So
Totally.
water and minerals, go to the bathroom, then go outside, get your feet in the grass, ground, sunshine, daylight. It sets the intention. Okay, move your body. If I can ask you, what is your favorite Netflix show to binge, and you have an answer, you have time to move your body.
Yeah.
First,
Indeed.
and doom scrolling is the other thing. Do you love TikTok? Yeah, well, go look at your Sunday night where it tells you how much time you've spent on your phone. Decrease that by half hour. You can move your body.
Yeah.
Lymphatic drainage. You had talked about dry brushing. There's many things you can do for lymphatic drainage. You do need to do it right. So make sure that you're opening up the big six before you start anything like that.
Yeah.
Clean food, nothing with dyes, nothing from a box, nothing that's processed. So, I just gave you all these free things that you can start tomorrow, you can start for free, and you can do immediately.
Yeah.
But when the body is overloaded with toxins, because you live in toxic soup, because we all live in toxic soup. And yes, we have detox pathways. We have all these beautiful organs that were meant to eradicate these toxins. It's just we weren't meant to live in this world. Right?
Yeah.
We were meant to live in a world that had normal toxins, not the toxins they're throwing at us. So sometimes you do need to assist your body by opening up the detox pathways and making sure that you are eradicating those toxins out. What are the toxins? Mold, fungus, yeast, heavy metals, parasites, bacteria, viruses, emotions.
Yep.
Negative emotions affect the body just like a negative heavy metal, a negatively charged heavy metal. So when you are having toxins and toxicity in the body, you need to eradicate that out. But you have to have clear pathways to do that. So that's where your water comes in. Dehydration is why people are constipated. Lack of movement is why people are constipated. Why don't you have good lungs? Well, you're not doing your diaphragmatic breathing. So your detox
Yeah.
pathways, you can support them for free.
Yep.
There's many things you can do. There are supported things that you can do that are supplemental. What I will say is I've been down this path. I threw away 6 drawers of wasted supplement money. So what I would say is get off of the Facebook groups, get off of your Amazon, stop wasting money on $15 miracle things or the next shiny
Yes.
miracle thing you're seeing on Facebook.
Yes.
Stop doing that.
Yes.
If you want to learn about detoxification from that standpoint, I'm doing all the foundations. I'm doing everything Dr. Christie has said. I'm doing all the foundations. We have a Facebook group called the Detox Girls. We have 6 years of education.
It's
Every
awesome.
week we do education. You can access it all for free. And then you can learn about cellular detoxification, intracellular detoxification, cell binding sites, biological replacement of minerals and heavy metals, not hormone replacement.
Yeah.
You can learn about gut health and cognitive function and good sleep habits. Sleep habits falls under those free foundations. Your room needs to be dark. You need
Yep.
to put that phone down. You need to go to bed at a good time. That phone needs to be across the room on, at least on do not disturb with your
Yeah.
Wi-Fi off. There's just so many things that you can do, but I do see a lot of detox out there that is being touted as, this miracle. And I need you to know that I did that to my family about 6 years ago. I put
Mm.
my family on a
Yeah.
subpar detox and I paid the price. We both paid the price, my daughter and I. A lot of autoimmune issues. So if you've detoxed and you have autoimmune issues, it might be that you detoxed wrong. So let's talk about what does it mean to detox wrong? Well, here's my 4 pillars of healing: detoxification, regeneration, emotional and spiritual health, and the belief system. And then I go backwards because here's where it's important. What is your belief system? Do you believe that your body is capable of healing? First and foremost, you have to say it out loud with affirmations. I know that my body is capable of healing. Emotional and spiritual traumas and feelings, and so all of the breath work and the somatic work and all of that, this is really important. This is the thing that people keep suppressing. And my post today was, what you suppress your body will express.
Yep.
And so if you're going to suppress those emotions, you can do these, but you're still not going to make the progress that you need until you're real with yourself. So you have to stop suppressing those emotions because they're also held in organs,
Yep.
in your kidneys, in your lungs, in your liver. These are all your emotions are held in your organs. And then there's deficiencies. And so I'm the detox girls, but detoxes last. Yeah. Because when I started the detox girls with Shanna, we were detoxing wrong and we thought detox was the thing. And that's why we struggle with all of these influencers out there who are talking
Yeah.
about detox, because regeneration is the next most important part. And what does that mean? Your digestive system needs attention. Your immune system needs support. Your cognitive function needs support. Your lymphatic system needs support. You need to move your body and clean water. If you're not rebuilding your body, then you can't even start to remove those toxins, because the only reason you have that high level of toxicity is because you were a weak host.
Yep.
That is why. That was the piece I was missing when I was detoxing my daughter.
Yeah.
That was the part. She was misdiagnosed with COPD and infertility. By
Mm.
22, she was diagnosed with COPD. That's
Wow.
frightening. Now
Yeah.
why I'm in the position, you give Mama Bear a little taste of that, and all of a sudden she becomes the biggest researcher ever and then starts
That's
getting
it.
all of her certifications.
Yeah.
But everybody, I followed all of these detox things. Detox, detox, detox. She has heavy metals. She has this, she has that. We need to detox. Not one person, let me revise that. One person
Mm.
taught me about regeneration. And that changed everything. So I'm probably in year 5 or 6 of when I met Dr. Christina Rom. And has become a friend. She is a bioscience engineer. And I was given the gift to be on the phone with her, and she taught me about the regenerative part of detox. And all of a sudden, it changed everything about what I knew. It changed every research point I had. I started understanding the importance of minerals and the importance of foundations and the importance of rebuilding the body. And as soon as I started doing that for my daughter, everything started worse. We were off of, when I asked her pulmonologist, do you want to know why she doesn't have COPD anymore, or even asthma? Why is her breathing normal? She's not on any of your medications, your pill for an ill, all those things you wanted her to inhale and puff around and carry with her at all times because you were afraid. Do you want to know how we resolved that? And it was a resounding no. I've also since then become a patient advocate for my family, and I've had a lot of discussions with doctors about matching a medication to a symptom. And if I can say one thing to you that's also free, when you go to the doctor, if you say to them, I don't want to match a medication to a symptom. If I need to, right? If it's an acute problem and I need to, and it's going to save my life, of course you're going to. But what I'm saying is long-term, how can we get to the root cause of what's going on? So ask your doctor, what is the toxicity that could be hurting me? It's really interesting to me that I don't really watch TV that much, but if the TV is on and I'm in the other room, it's funny how I hear it subliminally, right? And every injection commercial says, if you have a parasitic infection, tell your doctor. Wait a minute. Wait, if you have a parasitic infection, tell your doctor? Okay. I challenge you to question your doctor. Could I have a parasitic infection? And they say, oh no, that's not real. That's rare. That doesn't happen. We live in America.
Yep.
So you have to start critical thinking. You have to start thinking for yourself and really listening into things like are you doing your foundations? Am I doing my breathing? Am I moving my body? Am I drinking clean water? Have I made the commitment to eat healthy food? And if you're doing all of that, and then the question is, how is your digestive system? How is your immune system? Are you getting sick all the time? You shouldn't be getting sick all the time. I've been sick maybe in the last 6 or 7 years. I've been sick maybe 3 times. You should not be getting sick routinely. If you're getting sick, your body needs love. It needs support. It needs regeneration. Your immune system needs help. Your digestive system needs help. So I could go on and on, but I think I just want to kind of give the overview there. And if there's a need for it or a want for it or a like for it, we can always come back together where we could dive into what all of that means. But I just ask you that if you are following detox people, and I keep saying we need to change our branding because we're not really the detox girls anymore. We're all about regeneration, energy, medicine, nervous system, and vagus system, and all of the foundations. But what I would say is, let Dr. Christie know if you want more teaching on what it means to have regenerative detox. I also want to take that out of my repertoire because now other companies are starting to just coin that phrase. Oh, we're regenerative detox also. So for instance, you said about juicing. Twice this week, I've had somebody call me and say, oh, but my friend that does juicing says that it's regenerative detox. And I'm like, okay, so that's okay. It's okay. I'm glad that they are at least starting to learn. They're more parroting in their marketing than they are learning. But when it comes to what I do, we talk about intracellular detoxification, binding site support. We talk about cell signaling because cells communicate. And sometimes you need a cellular blockade to protect bad cells from good cells from bad cells. We need to talk about how your organs are working and where those heavy metals and bacteria and parasites might be hiding behind biofilm in organs, tissue, blood. Sometimes you get a test and it's negative, but it's a false negative because those parasites are hiding behind bacteria, or those heavy metals are deeply entrenched in bone or tissue, not in the blood. Or you do a hair tissue mineral analysis and you're not excreting that, so it's not coming out on a test. So there's just so many factors to take in and to know about regenerative detox. So what I would say is, you can join our group. There's 3 membership questions. It's ask who invited you. Please put Dr. Christie's name because that just really helps me just kind of know where people come from so that I know how I'm helping them best. If you would like us to come back and talk more about regenerative detox, for a full hour, we can do that. Um, and I don't see any questions. I don't know if you have a secondary area, but I love Q&A. I thrive on Q&A.
Yeah.
I'm like the fast fire it off on me, do all the things. Because I think that's where the majority of learning comes in is meeting you. And I said this in my bio, I meet people where they are. So I could teach for days and days and days and not be done. So it's easier for me when I hear somebody say what their concern or question is to really hone in on how we can help to support that. The other thing is our digestive system is not absorbing nutrients, it's not producing nutrients. There's that gut brain axis, and there's really the brain heart gut axis. So, your heart is involved there too. So there's just so many things we could talk about or teach about. And maybe what's good about this is that it's kind of an overview. And then what we can do is, maybe once a month or whenever it's appropriate, come back and have a list of questions to start off our Q&A and then just have people fire things off.
Yeah, no, thank you. Amazing. And I just want to pause for a minute because, there's so much information, so many words. It can be really overwhelming. And I'm aware, I'm looking at who's on live and I know who's going to watch the replay and I know where some of you are at. And, I'm also aware that when we're dealing with some chronic illnesses that have as their symptoms things like brain fog and confusion, like a lot of this can feel really overwhelming. So I just kind of want to pause for a moment and just, let's take a breath and just let all of it land. And again, this is meant to just really be an introduction and an overview. For some of you who work with me, this should just reinforce some of what we're already, the conversations we're already having. There are a couple of questions that I'm going to read in a second. And then I'm also very mindful of the time and I'm going to let us all go shortly. But yeah, there's a lot here. And I think, the main thing to remember again, right, is that detoxification is really more than just what's happening in the physical body. It's really this understanding that it's energetic, it's physical, psychological, emotional, spiritual, right? It's all of these dimensions. And that your body naturally knows how to release the poisons and the toxins, but we've got to support it in order for it to do its job. And then it's this understanding, right? Again, that it's not just about removing what's toxic, it's about reawakening all of the life-giving capacities that we have. So just a few of those key points, again, to really, hold on to. And not, I don't want anyone to feel so overwhelmed, like, oh my God, I've got to do my gut, I've got to do my immune, I've got to do all these things, right? Just one step at a time. The 4, these practices that we talked about tonight are meant to be a really integrative way, okay? Because I said this word before about evolutionary mismatch, that we're living really mismatched from the way that we're built to live. So we do have to be respectful. Like, I wish we all could go live in the forest, and like, live the way we're supposed to be living, but we can't do that. So we are all busy. We are working really hard. Some of us round the clock. Some of us are working. I'm thinking about Christy, who's in her car and still on the road driving and working. And we're all extremely busy, overwhelmed, overworked people. So rather than become overwhelmed, like, oh my God, I've got to do all of these things right now, I don't have time to take care of myself. Start with these practices. Start with the emotional detox. Start with the energy biofield sweeping. Start with the sound. Jill mentioned the water. Adding the Celtic salt in the water. You can also squeeze a half a lemon in your water. Keep it simple. Start by moving your body, just going for a walk, right? It doesn't have to be fancy right now. Start by taking a few deep breaths. Don't worry about whether I don't know what diaphragmatic breathing is. You don't have to. Just use the intention, right? Remember that intention drives energy and drives healing. Use your intention to take a few breaths where you really feel your lungs expand. You put one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly. Your belly and your chest should move as you're breathing. Just take a couple of those breaths. We're going to start simple. One last thing I want to mention as well is that, and those of you who know me know, like, the modern medicine world is, as Jill said, all about a pill for an ill, right? And in the alternative medicine and the holistic world, a lot of people use supplements. And at the end of the day, a lot of the alternative medicine world now has become another pill for an ill, right? Okay, there may be safer pills, but we're still, there was a point in time when I was taking 36 pills a day. So it doesn't matter that they're all natural. It's 36 pills a day. That's still taxing on my body. And it's still sending the signaling and the messaging to my body that something is wrong with me, right? So, I don't like to rely on supplements. However, having said that, unfortunately, our food quality is compromised. I don't care where you live. I don't care how much you grow. Our food quality is compromised. Our soil is compromised. It sometimes is necessary for us to support our body so that it can function in the way it needs to for us. So sometimes we need to use supplements. So the supplements that I prefer are the most natural, some people use words like nutraceuticals, right? These are natural, healthier supplements that you can use. I'm going to have Jill just say really briefly a couple words about that. And then if anyone is interested in some supplements that may be able to support your efforts around this idea of, again, multidimensional regenerative detox, get in touch with us, and we can steer you in the right direction.
Yeah, so I agree with that. You have to be careful. The supplement industry has really become a thing, and that's people are really just throwing darts at it. So one thing that I would say about that, and what I use is quantum nutraceuticals. So formulated by a bioscience engineer who's a PhD, PsyED, EDD, master's in science and nanobiotechnology, bioscience engineering. And then when she was criticized for not having an MD, went and got that too. And she left pharmaceutical science. She actually worked for Pfizer, and she left because she was diagnosed with her own cancer in her own time. And so she was fighting for her own life and knew that she wanted to do it naturally and knew she could. So when she's formulating things, she's actually formulated them for herself first. She's also a quantum physicist, so she uses quantum frequency, polarization, magnetism, cryofracking, and that makes the cells, it goes into the cell. So it's cellular nutrition, right? So we're not guessing. We're not taking a vitamin here and a vitamin there and not sure if it has heavy metals and it's made with rice flour or cornstarch, or, you don't know what's in it. You don't know who made it. This doctor is upfront. Like you can watch hours of her teachings, and she's, live and upfront, and she's on social media. You can ask her questions. So what I would say is that knowing who formulates your products is one big step. How they're manufactured, how are they tested? She doesn't really give away her sourcing because her formulations are actually patented for the reversal of aging. And she submitted patents last September, and it takes about 2 years for the reversal of ADHD, autism, and vaccine injury. So this is not just some fly by night. We didn't go to Subway and we're putting things in a capsule. This is stuff that she's formulating with intention. She formulates things so that you don't need 30 capsules. Maybe you can get that all down to 3, and it works with your whole body system. So it's multifaceted. It works on the digestive system, the immune system. It gives regenerative detox right from the get-go. It helps with cognitive function. It helps for nutrient absorption. It helps to lower inflammation. It does all of these things synergistically at once. So it's not just about, oh, I have a pain in my shoulder today. It's not, I think I might have, like a kidney problem. It's never one thing.
Yeah.
You might have one sign, one signal, one symptom, but it's never one thing. It's our body is a symphony. So something is out of whack, and that's what you hear.
Yeah.
But there might be something else going on. And to your point, No one has to be overwhelmed by any of this. No one is saying go out and buy, 20 things. You can start
Right.
with one thing. You can start slow. You can build up. In fact, that's the support that I give to our community. We've written it all up. We have a quick
Yeah.
start guide. We have a full ebook to walk you through step by step. So it's the benefit of having a community. It's why I have a community so
Yeah.
that people can make sure that they are getting the support they need. So the reason I haven't, and I don't know if anybody's asked, but the reason I don't really mention it right off the bat is because what happens is you'll Google it. And when you Google it, or when you are on your favorite Amazon Prime, it takes away my ability to support you. And all I want to do is make sure that I'm giving my support. And by the way, all of that's for free. My support comes free. So it is, I just ask that you ask Dr. Christie and connect us, and let's sit down, have a talk about your symptoms. What are your health goals? Let's do the right matchup so that you're not wasting money. And then you have the right protocol to get started, because I have like a slow start, build up. I mean, I've been doing this for so many years now, and I have such a big community, and my community has given me all the tips and tricks that have been successful for them. So I've put that all in one place so that everybody feels supported and not overwhelmed, because you don't want to make your nervous system out of whack because you have these things and you don't know what to take. And now it's frustrating. And now your nervous
Yeah.
system. So
Yeah.
we do all those things
Healing.
to keep everything in line.
The healing industry has hurt more people than anything. Really quickly, and then I want to let us all go for the night. I have a couple of questions here that two of them were texted to me. One was in the private chat, so I'm going to just read them quickly. Oh, yeah, there's nothing in the public chat. And then if anyone who's still on live wants to ask a question, jump in at any time. Okay, so Maria said, can you speak about vibration plates and dry brushing? I was told to do both of these by my naturopath. Okay. Yeah. So really quickly, I'll touch on that. And it's a great question. So I actually have my dry brush right here, if you can see it. Okay. And if you work with me, you know that I talk about dry brushing a lot. Dry brushing, basically, it is this bristled, my screen thing is blocking it, I
Now
think.
you're gone.
But I'm gone. I don't know what's going on. It's like blocking me. And now that the natural light is gone, I actually could take the background off. But anyway, it's a brush that will allow you, let me pop it off of here, to use on dry skin, and it allows you to gently glide along the lines of your lymphatic system. There's a whole protocol. Unfortunately, we don't have time to get into all of that now, but get in touch with me. I will walk you through all of the ways to do dry brushing effectively. But essentially, you're going to rub it on your dry skin. Oh, she says, okay. She added, I wasn't sure whether I should do it in the shower or not. No, you want to do it on dry skin. So I do my dry brushing before I get in the shower, and then I get in the shower and just kind of release it all. What a vibration plate is, again, I'm going to go old school for a minute. It almost looks like one of those old Jack LaLanne steppers, right? And right, yeah. And what it does is you stand on it and you plug it in, and there's different settings. And basically, it shakes and it vibrates, and it's sending that stimulation through your whole body to essentially shake you up, to wake you up. Okay. So it's activating, it's stimulating your lymphatic system, and it's getting anything that is stagnant in those levels, the energetic level, right? Anything that's stagnant in you, it's getting it shaking up and moving, because again, we have to move to mend. Many of you hear me say that. I have a vibration plate. I have one under my feet right now as we speak. I leave it under me when I'm sitting for a long period of time, and I just put my feet on it, and it at least gets some stimulation. You can stand on it. There are different settings. Start slow. Okay, because it can be very jarring and very disruptive, particularly if, again, your nervous system has been in flight or fight for a while. So yeah, Maria, I'm all about the vibration plate. Start slow. Definitely use it if you're sitting a lot. And also the dry brushing, I can walk you through how to do that. Trampoline. Yes, Christy's saying trampoline jumping. So another tool that you can use is what the fancy word for it is called a rebounder, right? Which is sort of like this mini trampoline that you can jump on. Now, again, I am all about making things really practical and accessible. You do not have to go on Amazon tonight after this call and order a rebounder. You do not have to go online and do a vibration plate. You do not have to go online and get a dry brush. You don't have to start with those things. In fact, and I have a video on this. If anyone's interested, get in touch with me. I'll send it to you. I have a video where I walk you through how to just palpating with your fingers, how to do a manual dry brushing or lymphatic massage, okay? And I also walk you through a medical Qigong practice, which is an martial arts practice that gets the body vibrating naturally by just moving your body in certain ways and moving certain parts of your body. So again, your body is brilliant. It has everything that it needs right within it. So are these tools really helpful? It's like the supplements, right? These tools can be helpful, but they're not, 100% necessary in order to do what needs to be done. You can go for a really good walk. You can do some really deep stretches on your floor and really start to get things moving. You can do this jumping and bouncing technique and get things moving. Okay. You can manually, go along your body. You can manually under your, collarbones, are the termini of your lymphatic system, and you can just massage them. This is doing wonders for you. So you don't need anything fancy. They're there as tools, but you don't need them. Other questions? Let me see. Tony is saying, thank you so much. This was really helpful. Thank you so much. It's really helpful. You don't realize the impact of stored and stuck emotions on physical health. Why don't doctors teach us this? Great question. Yeah. Well, we do. These doctors do. Any questions from anyone else who's live? And then I'm going to let us go for the night. And again, know that you can reach out at any time. I'm going to have Jill give you her email address as well. In just a minute, let me just check in. Anyone else want to say anything? I think a few people have dropped off. All right, no questions. Okay, so Jill put in the chat, the detoxgirls@gmail.com. If you have specific questions for Jill, you could feel free to get in touch. Let me know again if you want to walk through any of these practices together. If anybody who was on live would like the replay, let me know that too. If you're watching this on the replay, feel free to get in touch with any questions you have. And as always, I really feel honored and privileged to be here with all of you and to share this information that is channeled through me. It's not mine to keep, it's only mine to share. And I'm grateful that I get to do it with you guys every week. And yeah, thank you all. Thank you for joining. Jill, this was amazing. You're amazing. So happy that we did this together. There's so much more to come. And yeah, have a beautiful night, everyone.
I'm totally blessed. Thanks so much for having me. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys. Good night.